Hello everyone, I'm bluedragonfive, and today I'm here to talk Deadpool. Specifically, Deadpool The Game. Now, for those of you who may not be aware, I'm a big Deadpool fan. He is my favorite Marvel character. Not hero, that's Spider-Man, but character. Short of Batman, this is my favorite character in comics. There's a lot I like about Deadpool. I could fill up an entire video with just that, or a series of videos. Who knows? We'll see in the future. But for these purposes, in a nutshell, my introduction to Deadpool was Hulk vs. Wolverine. Fell in love with the character. I guess what really does it for me for Deadpool are two things. Essentially, he's a guy who loves his job. He loves what he does, and how can you not respect that? He has fun with what he does. And two, really when I got into the comics, was I really love his occupation. Just this mercenary who, he takes jobs for money. He's not really a hero. He can aspire to be sometimes. And he's not entirely a villain. He's in the middle, but, he's just does the jobs for the money, goes on all these adventures, and he can just be taking out targets, killing them in his own wacky world. He can interact with Marvel characters. He's open to many interpretations and crossovers, yet he can still exist on his own, I believe. Very interesting character, a lot of depth to him, a lot of comedy, which really works and can counterbalance with a dark, tragic past. He's open to interpretation, can do many different ways, but particularly just keep that comedy alive, but also just basically make a really awesome character. A guy who's just really, he's kind of, like with DC, kind of what you aspire to be, but with Marvel, kind of relate to be, is that he's emotionally like us, and how we react sometimes, just to an extreme. And it's so good at what he does, we can aspire just to be that, or just aspire to love what we do. Now, as I was saying, I detracted right there, but getting to the game. Now, again, big Deadpool fan. I'm going into this. I've perused the Deadpool script. I've been hoping for a movie so much, because I do love this character. And unfortunately, the movie is kind of in development heck right now. However, with the news of this game, which just excited me so much, and they did great promotion for it, Deadpool taking over High Moon Studios, doing the whole thing at Comic-Con with the guy in a really cool Deadpool suit. I was ecstatic for this. Saying, oh, wow, he's going to get the recognition, and if this game goes well, this is in my mind, if this game goes well, what's going to happen is people are going to take notice of this character. He's going to kind of redeem himself for when he got a little too big. He got a little too big for a while, kind of like Wolverine, and he kind of, in a way, he overstayed his welcome. Basically, just him guest starring in every book and kind of getting the Deadpool core and such, which, it's alright, it's just too much. 3 books at one time. Wait, oh, no, sorry, not 3. 5 books at one time, it was too much. But thankfully, he's been scaled back. He's on top of his. Yeah, he's back in the game now. And I just think this game, if this highlights what's great about the character, people are going to take notice of that. They're going to enjoy it so much. They're going to campaign, or at least they're just going to say, make a movie. I want to see a movie with this character done right, not the crappy version we got in Wolverine Origins. Just give us the right version of this character in film. The good story around it. And hopefully, optimistically on my side of things, I was saying to myself, well, if this game goes well, if this game's perceived well, it'll push that forward. Push the film forward back into development. Which really, right now, they're just holding up for an R rating, which would be great, but even if it's PG-13, I'm going to see this movie either way. Hopefully it gets made. Rated R would probably work best for the script that was made, but again, I'm trailing off. Now, let's talk about the game. Okay, so the game comes out. You're playing the game, and well, it's, as stated previously at the Comic-Con panel, Deadpool has taken over High Moon Studios, and it's hilarious. Nolan North comes back to reprise the role of Deadpool, as he did in Hulk vs. Wolverine, which is, again, my first introduction to the character, so I'm satisfied with that. Nolan North brings this quality Deadpool. It's just this perfect quality. And I mean, I've heard a few Deadpool voices. John Kazir being one of them. Well, recently Will Friedle, which it's not terrible, but not as good as the other ones. Nolan North, he just has his voice for character. He's wacky, but also has that kind of twinge of darkness and grit to him. But it's just rapid fire comedy. It's just witty as heck. It's like fast-paced, high-octane humor, but still with this twinge of darkness behind it, which is really what you would want from Deadpool. Michael Lusick, you get the sense of the history behind Michael Lusick's Deadpool, and Nate is kind of like the Nolan North Deadpool from Deadpool Friends have. But anyway, trailing off, that's a discussion for another time. Anyway, Nolan North, great Deadpool voice. Now, if we get into the game, it's doing a lot of things right with the character. You know, it's doing the boxes, which can not make or break Deadpool, but it can go overboard if you overuse the voices in the wrong way. In this, they use the voices properly and kind of do voices in Deadpool's head kind of represent to us kind of the voices you have in your the good angel, bad angel, or just kind of the many thoughts coursing through your head of what actions to do, or commenting on yourself, or being hard on yourself, or not hard on yourself. But they're entertaining, and to my knowledge, and I'm very certain of this, Nolan North does both voices. One of them does sound kind of like Fred Tatasciore, however, I'm pretty sure that's Nolan North doing a heck of a good job, which is really, really entertaining. As kind of the white box is the stuffy, intelligent voice saying, if there was a shading meter, it would be on high. It would be maxed out right now. And you have the other one, which is kind of Deadpool's impulsiveness, saying, let's talk about boobies. He said boner, stuff like that. And again, I'm going to say this now, there will be spoilers, so I'm going to spoil some jokes, spoil some plot content, but seriously folks, play this game or watch the whole thing on YouTube. Either way, it's a heck of a ride, it's really fun, but I'll get into the specifics now, actually. So anyway, we start the game with, kind of break it down to a few levels. We start the game where, again, my favorite element of the character, Deadpool going on mercenary jobs, which is an element I wish was in the game more. You know, it's a Deadpool, he's contracted to take out, random, just created for convenience sake, created for the story. Yeah, just a mercenary target, just this shark guy, which is a funny joke in itself. This business media mogul who loves sharks, and basically he's kind of a corrupt Hollywood scumbag who's kind of, is putting people in dangerous situations, reality television shows, making them literally jump sharks, and it's kind of a pun on Deadpool jumping the shark a lot and kind of jumping the shark in the story, which will happen a lot later, many times in fact, but that's the character. Anyway, so random generic Deadpool character, which does work. It's fine. He does it a lot in his comics, and especially my favorite run, the Gail Simone stuff. It happens all the time. It's typical Deadpool. Great stuff. Just taking on mercenary sounds. I wish it was more in the game. Unfortunately, it's only this one level, which we do get into a story after this level. So that's the reason we don't have more of it in there. It'd be a great addition if there was more added to this game, additional levels. You could choose the many different jobs. You go to, in the comics, there's this place called the Hell House, which essentially you would go to this place and you'd be assigned mercenary jobs. You just give the guy named Patch a cut of the profits and he would find you jobs. Or in my favorite run, Deadpool had a secretary who, unfortunately, she does not appear in this game. Her name is Sandy Brandenburg. Again, unfortunate, but great character. There's many characters that actually look like her in this game, which kind of makes me say, oh, you're so close. And Daniel Way, the writer of this game, he brings back old characters, but never this one. I love this character. Sorry, just going off on a wish fulfillment rant. Sandy Brandenburg, she's kind of the secretary at Deadpool's most successful point in his career, and she would get him jobs also. Again, secretary, just manages the books. Really good at her job. Anyway. So anyway, Deadpool, he goes to the job, he takes down the guy, but then through hilarious means, ending in a bouncy castle. Which really, can we ask for more than just landing in a bouncy castle from hundreds and thousands of feet? More like hundreds of stories. Yeah. Really fun, absurd. It's the Deadpool flair to it. And while I'm on that subject, before we get too into the plot, I'm going to mention overall Daniel Way's take on the character and his writing. Daniel Way did write this, and I had two concerns going into this game. Daniel Way was one of them. And then believe me, I'm forgiving when it comes to maybe not forgiving. Is where I guess I'm accepting and optimistic for Deadpool. I'm just accepting whatever I can get at the character, because I do love this character, and Way just puts in a lot of the humor. The problem with Daniel Way's work overall is that he kind of focuses more on the insane Deadpool and just overcompensates with that insane humor, rather than just like the really smart, funny, clever guy who was driven a little nutty with the Weapon X process having been performed on him, but can still get things done. And just in the comics, occasionally he would go overboard, and just Deadpool be a little insane to the point of incompetency, which we get a twinge of here, but it's done. I would say his writing's improved by this point, improved over the course of his series. So overall, no problems with Daniel Way as a writer. He did okay, not as good as the writers preceding him, but it's still consistent Deadpool. It's fun. It's fun. It kind of devolves into the lowbrow humor of bathroom jokes and anatomy jokes. That's kind of the Daniel Way kind of going for the cheap insanity laugh. But again, it works to this character because it's well balanced, I think, and Nolan North also sells it. Now, just now I can just go back and read the Deadpool guys. Even the worst ones, just picture Nolan North's voice, and just really sells it. It's just really fun. But again, back to the plot. Okay, so he takes down this guy, and also last thing with the plot here early on was that he takes over High Moon Studios and they send him a script. He's like, script? I get one script. I break the fourth wall, for crying out loud. And you're talking to the voices, talking to the camera, us the viewer, well, us the gamer also. Then basically he edits the script in crayon, according to our high snooty white box. He modifies the script, which basically is the reason the game's a little disjointed, which is a complaint some have with the game, in that it's a little, some levels may be a little easy with the gameplay. It's a little standard in plot, just kind of convenient for convenience sake. Some say lazy. I say done that way intentionally because Deadpool rewrote the script and it's a Deadpool game. I'm not saying there wasn't room for improvement. I'm just saying it kind of fits because Deadpool is just probably it was a really great script and he just kind of edited the heck out of it, and because of Deadpool editing it, just putting loads of awesome into it, it just kind of devolves into loads of awesome. Just not much of a really cohesive plot, which is how Deadpool would write a script. So I excuse it for those reasons. But if a sequel was made and they could address that, make it a little smarter, but still have that flair of Deadpool to it. So anyway, okay, so he gets his target. He's not supposed to kill the guy. Sinister's goons, the Marauders, who are D-list villains, according to Deadpool. They steal, basically Vertigo and Blockbuster. They steal the guy. They steal the guy, they kidnap him, and Deadpool says, oh yeah, we did that totally on purpose. Funds in the chase. You said it! That sort of stuff. He's chasing him down, you find out Sinister's just using this guy. Again, it's a really weak connection to kind of get us to the next point in the plot. It's just saying, your satellites will be used well. It's just basically Sinister can broadcast this message, because this guy's a media mogul, stole his satellites, or worked with him, kind of rolling Daggett style from Dark Knight Rises, to broadcast some message, which he never really does, so it doesn't really matter. It's just kind of, Deadpool blows up in the end, so it really doesn't matter. Again, loose connection, kind of Deadpool right, Blockbuster kills the guy. Then Deadpool, he basically, we see the extent of Deadpool's regenerative powers and abilities. He blows Deadpool up to lose a head, so he regenerates, which is a testament to Deadpool's healing factor being better than Wolverine's. Also, the fact that he literally cannot die because he basically peeved Thanos. Yeah, because Death, Thanos is the one woman in the universe Thanos wants, doesn't care a lick about Thanos, but wants Deadpool. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Death, the female personification of Death, she wants Deadpool. Probably because he can't die, but I still, kind of romantic in me says, she likes the guy too. And that's the attraction, but she also likes the guy for some reason. Which, to this game's credit, I do. There are some nice... It's like crazy, literally, in that this is actually a genuinely sweet moment, and Deadpool gets actually like a seriously romantically interest look on his masked face when there's this like boat ride with Death later on in the game. It's really, I think it's touching. It's sincere. Then of course it's abbreviated real quick. But that's kind of the only hint we get of the game of Deadpool being serious or being emotionally damaged or kind of having a heart. Well, that doesn't regrow or regenerate. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to kind of speed this series along. So basically, then the X-Men get involved, which is my other concern for the game, in that I feared the X-Men because Deadpool did technically spin off from the X-Men in some form. It was X-Force, but well, New Mutants. I just feared that the X-Men overshadowed the game, and I saw that in the trailers. Mr. Sinister was going to be the bad guy, and he has tangled with Sinister before, but again, it's an X-Men influence, and Cable was an integral part of the plot, which I loved the Cable and Deadpool run, but usually went after the point Cable left, when it just focuses on Deadpool. Cable's a good straight man, I'm with Deadpool, and there's all this Messiah stuff. I don't really care about it. So yeah, I'm kind of with Deadpool in the scene where he's just kind of blah 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 blah, just playing and stuff. I'm kind of with him in that regard, which amuses me. So anyway, also I like in the beginning you kind of see some more darkness with Deadpool, and they like shooting the picture of Domino because he's actually emotionally hurt to an extent. After she says it was like a one-night stand. Domino and Deadpool, they have a good rapport also, so the X-Men characters they did choose for this game do fit well with Deadpool, I guess. Is that they didn't include the entire X-Men, so that's the reason I accept it more. So it's not a problem because they well integrate enough. I guess that me being the big diehard Deadpool fan, I would have preferred more Deadpool-oriented characters, but we got a fair amount. It's fine. Just if there was a sequel game, just add more of the original characters like Weasel, Blind Al, and of course, I would love Sandy Brandenburg. I would indeed, but that's or Bob. Well, Bob's also cool. Anyway, yeah, Domino's always a good Deadpool sporting character. Psylocke just thrown in there because of the X-Force, and Wolverine because they have ties together, and just him basically making fun of Wolverine in the game, which is funny both in the trailer and when he's slapping the crap out of him later on and commenting on it, which is a great function in the game where Deadpool will just go off. Nolan North just going crazy in the sound booth. He's just all these ad libs which are hilarious, and love how they are integrated to the game. And again, a lot of really Deadpoolish things here. He's sneaking up on people, killing them awesomely, but also at the same time he can kill them hilariously when he just the execute mode. Like, what's funny? I think in the trailer you hear him say bang bang bang, but I'm not sure in the game if you do. Little nitpick. Just very, very slight nitpick, because in the Hulk vs. Wolverine, that's what made him famous, and it's in Capcom and everyone. It says bang 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 bang. He's just shooting his guns, which is something that we'll do, just having fun with the job. So anyway, the Wolverine's like teasing about. He teases Wolverine, come on, let me fly the Blackbird. I've always wanted to fly the Blackbird. No way, Wilson. Steve Blum turning for Wolverine. Wonderful, wonderful job. Every voice cast is great. If I had a complaint, I wish Domino was in it more, because again, I like her relationship with him, and, well, of course, with Domino, Cyclops, and Death. They're not bad to look at. Especially Domino and Death. Well, and, well, Cyclops from behind. Yeah, that's a gag only Magpie would appreciate, but that's crossover right there. Anyway, back to our plot. Basically, they end up on Genosha. Sinister has a bunch of clones you fight in the game. It gets a little repetitive, but, you know, it's... Some argue it's too easy. I say, it's half the fun, and it really doesn't matter. Just a little mode on there. It says, you know, just kill for the heck of killing, just because you want to slice and dice and all that stuff. Do the characters have a good time, win, kill stuff. Which I'm fine with. So yeah, that doesn't bother me at all, really. So there's that. I will admit there is the kind of the technical glitch of the game in the gameplay, in that as cool as it is Deadpool teleports, and believe me, it is cool, and I like how they incorporate that into the game. They give him a counter button, which, you know, like Batman Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, you push the triangle button on the PlayStation, you can counter a move. Deadpool, you push the, again, I'm talking from PlayStation 3 perspective, push like a little red circle button. That's your teleport button, but you can also counter with that, and it depends on your range from the guy attacking you, you could teleport when you meant to block. So that's a technical issue, but, you know, I think the more you play, the more you get used to it. But again, that's me speaking from not an uber gamer. It's really the superhero games is all I play, and I used to play some Dragon Ball games. So really, that's my frame of reference. So take that for what you will. Again, what really works about this story is that it's jumbled and it's through Deadpool's perspective. And a lot of great humor and great just Deadpool visuals. Like in the giant sentinel boot, which is his plan to get across the island, which will take like a few days to cross. Just basically has Cable, who has a grand entrance, and voiced by Fred Tatasciore, who doesn't do a bad job. He's not my ideal voice for Cable, but I think he did a good job. And again, great straight man, so even if you don't know the character, you just know what he serves. And the game provides this little information button, so you just push the button when the character appears, and you get a little background done by Deadpool, which is great. Again, Cable's a great straight man. He has this really hilarious speech about tacos after, you know, Deadpool kills a fake kills clone Sinister. Turns anime for a second, and he says, "Deadpool, you killed a clone!" After Deadpool says, "Okay, roll credits," in George Lucas style, like, da 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 da, written and directed by Deadpool. "That was a clone!" Jeez, Summers, what did you have? Tacos for breakfast? Oh, tacos. Because Deadpool loves Mexican food, especially chimichangas and tacos. Then he turns into like that annoying orange version. I don't know what the internet fads are these days, but that annoying orange guy, who apparently has an animated series now, which is stupid. My perspective, mind you. You like tacos, Wade? He says, imagine a world where you can never have one of Sam's tacos. Samantha is this taco lady who is... It's funny because I think she's kind of... In this game, she would be my version of Sandy Brandenburg, which... It'd be fun to see her in a sequel. This is Sam Taco Lady. It's like a new original character, which could be fun. In the Deadpool script, you have Doppender, who could be one of those great characters. But I'm trailing off like the character. I apologize. But again, you know, Cable's just going on a speech, and then... Oh, crap, got real right now. Okay, Summers, what do we do? Then Deadpool's on board, he builds a sentinel boot to get him across the island, he bumps into Rogue, and they make jokes about Deadpool. He gets a call from Peter, the guy who's making the game back at High Moon, saying, "Deadpool, you blew the budget in the first 5 minutes of the game. Or the first level of the game." He says, you know, how many viewers... We got like 15 million hits. 1 billion 1, 1 million 2. And basically says, make it. It makes the game, and there are moments where like the budget runs out and turns into an 8-bit game, which is hilarious, and a nice nod to the old 8-bit games. I'm sure Rockman would appreciate that. Again, forgive me for name dropping, but seriously, folks, check out his channel. Good man. Back to Deadpool. So yeah, again, that's just great Deadpool logic, great Deadpool changes in the script that follows, really, really fun stuff. There's even a level where he's just basically mingling with women. Well animated, well video game designed women, and I swear to you, this is the most this is the most unprofessional I'm going to get at this moment. So, yeah, there's a very silly nitpick. Cable leaves a note stabbed in Deadpool's chest after he kills himself, as Cable blathers on about the future Messiah stuff. Like, this will happen in the future way. It's like, please make it stop. He pushes the X button, he shoots himself in the head, which is something Deadpool would do, which is funny. Anyway, he wakes up, he's like a note stabbed in his chest, and he says, meet me at this place, and if you're not there in 1 hour, you'll miss the large-breasted, naked fangirl who digs you. He says, what if he means it this time? Deadpool goes, yeah, but here's my... If you're gonna make a mature, the M-rated game, and I mean, so far they've gone unbound, cursing and a lot of blood, violence, and they're focusing on the bouncing and the female form, which is nice. I mean, come on, why not go the full length if you're gonna say that? So they basically put her in a bikini, which it's kind of it's a word gripe, so forgive me. Not that I need to see. I'm just saying if you're gonna word it like that, show it. Is all I'm saying. Stupid fan gripe. Ignore it if I've just offended you or just said something immensely stupid. But getting back. Anyway, again, I'm trailing off here, just going into every detail. Again, folks, watch the whole movie edited video, or just literally play the game, buy the game. I would say maybe wait a little bit till the price comes down. But if you're a Deadpool fan, just buy it now. It's really fun. Really fun. Again, I'm kind of giving away the ending here, but then again, Deadpool has done that twice in the game, in his own game. Again, spoilers. Haha. Again, it changes format, just basically hitting on girls for a level, which is funny, and I would say that's literally pull-a-vision. I don't know if it's the mutants affecting his mind, but it's probably a blend of that and pull-a-vision, which is basically Deadpool's POV, which I always thought was an interesting thing in the comics. Daniel Way brought back that everyone, in real life, everyone has a POV. They see something one way. For all we know, we might see it a little differently, a little more rosy, a little more colorful than another guy. So I was thinking, so it's logical that maybe Deadpool, if he has a warped sense of reality, he's going to see things a little more warped and different. And at least for a level, we got that, It's funny, I'll admit when Rogue kisses Deadpool in the game and she gets his powers, it is a little, you do get a little hot under the collar playing the game. But, again, I'm trailing off here. Then we get a little, Rogue is level playing as Deadpool, it's fun. They got some, regeneration gags with this little dog, who'd be hilarious if it was Dogpool, but nonetheless. Dog steals Deadpool's arm, you have to get it back while your head's on backwards. Really, really fun stuff. Inventive with the guns and the levels, and the laser gun is so cool. What I do is, after I get all the upgrades and stuff, I like the touch that you can buy all the upgrades and stuff. And it's kind of nice that I would go back and play on the hard level now with all the gadgets and stuff. It's kind of seeing Deadpool at his finest put into this situation, so now he can just take care of business like it's no one's business. And the laser gun, he says, I'm killing people with science! This is fun! Best death ever! Yeah, good times, good times. I'm reminiscing at this point, but, so yeah, basically, I'll admit, the third act, they do kind of say, a lot of the big gamer critics will say it's a little lazy. But, it's basically Deadpool. He fights like an onslaught of clones, like thrice. Like a thrice onslaught of clones. It takes a long time, and the first time you play it, oh boy, it's difficult, especially all the sinister clones at the end. And if you don't have all the upgrades, it's going to be even more difficult. But, yeah. Also, if anyone's, I would suggest, recommend you get the health thing first, if you can. So, yeah. Health thing first, also the hammers are cool, and the size are really like, the stabby weapons. They're really good fast kills, they look really cool. They're a really stabby weapon. They're kind of the equivalent to knives in this game, which they are knives, so, yeah. Anyway. Oh, one last thing about the extra gameplay. There is this really fun level in which it kind of detracts from the plot. It's basically Sinister's taking DNA from dead corpses, and for some reason, Cable goes along with this, in that they need to do this somehow. But basically, Death is in the game, and again, I love Death. I love the redesign. I think it's really neat. Don't get me wrong, I still like classic Death, but this one was a nice design. Yeah, I love the beautiful version of Death. The bone version's not bad. It's just, I don't know. I kind of like the. It's basically like in the black robe. It's kind of this face you don't really see the eyes for. It's just this kind of ravenous figure. Not ravenous, just like Raven from Teen Titans. I mean, just kind of the lower half of the face, the lipstick. That's it. But anyway, we got an even better version of this. I think they had this Dias de los Muertos look to it, which I thought was neat, and still made her attractive. You know, some kind of Deadpool influenced design, I'm sure. Looks really good. I mentioned the whole scene with her, but during that scene, basically, you change the format. Basically, Deadpool he kind of goes the Batman route in Arkham City, where he's proving his worth as the chosen one, or the kind of worthy to be the demon's head. Now, equivalent, basically just proving he can. Really, he's not proving anything. He's just kind of doing all these little mini tasks and mini games. It's really fun and neat. One of them's a really probably the most psychologically good in the game, in which they hint at Deadpool's origin with a bunch of basically clown versions speaking as the doctors in the Weapon X program, basically firing like a carnival game at them. Again, really fun. I enjoy that. Really fun. And then again, it's kind of punctuated with this really thing that cracked me up. This black and white 40s Deadpool. You know, he's in love with death, and yeah, they're saying he won in the end, and you know, it's Death and him having that lifestyle. But of course, they can never be united, because you know, Thanos cursed Deadpool with life, and also Deadpool can't die. Deadpool can't die, and plus there's unfinished business. And Death says, "Thank you for your service." Basically, she killed a bunch of guys. Really, what Death kind of manipulated Deadpool, but he would have done it anyway. Just killed a bunch of guys for her. Killed a bunch of Sinister's clones and men, which is more souls for her, I guess. But at the same time, freeing old souls, I guess. So what it does is it's a nice moment. It's black and white. Unfortunately, you know, it's kind of saying, "Go stop Sinister," you know, Tiger. Not Tiger, but you know, Tiger. Yeah, basically now he dons the American war helmet. "I'm on my way to do that." Then he's at the actual point in Genosha we're supposed to be. Again, now we kind of sync up, and there's this really hilarious gag I know Mr. Fusion would like, and myself. Really fun nod to Back to the Future. It's one of those. It's a setup gag that Way's known for in the comics. Kind of like he would jump back and forth in the timeline to show how Deadpool went to lengths to set something up. Really, really fun. You know, he basically makes a not in flux capacitor. He makes a Mr. Fusion machine. A little like a Mr. Fusion, you know, fuel modifier. He puts like a banana and some beer in it, and he basically powers the thing. When this thing at 66 miles per hour, or I forget how much, it wasn't 88 miles per hour, that was the gap. It's either 66 or 99, 99.6, whatever. You know, he just basically zooms across the island saying, "Screw you, X-Men, I'm gonna get them first!" While the X-Men are there, and just the game culminates with a really, I think, funny gag. Some might say it's a cop-out, just basically how he defeats Sinister, because he keeps killing Sinister, and he thinks it's the end. And you know, it says roll credits, but it's a clone, and after he beats all the clones, Sinister is getting furious, says, "Deadpool, you mutate!" Which means, you know, you're not born with the mutant powers, just you became mutant. Technically Spider-Man also. You know, you mutate. You don't mutate from birth, you just mutate after you have something done to you. So basically, you know, it says, "You're scum, you're foul, you screwed everything up. I'm pissed at you right now." Then Deadpool's basically giant X on the ground, you know, he's getting ready. What he's doing is just stalling, punches him in the balls. Below the belt, and basically then the giant shoe of the Sentinel, the giant boot of the Sentinel, comes down and crushes him to death, and he says, "Okay, dude, they finally get him. Cable teleports from the future, as he does, which doesn't make any sense, and Deadpool points that out to him, hilariously, with a blank stare, saying, I have battles in the future, and your battle right here depends on it. It's really why wouldn't Cable just stay there and help him out there so he wouldn't have to deal with the stuff in the future, but that's time travel, and that makes people's heads hurt. And he just Cable teleports, gives him a thumbs up, then he says, okay, seriously now, roll credits. Then we go, then it's Deadpool on the phone with Peter, saying, oh, the game's a success, it was really awesome, and I am in total agreement with Deadpool. We got a really awesome theme song at the end of it. Deadpool, da, da, da. Yeah, it's not going to go in detail, I wouldn't be doing that song any justice, it's a catchy theme song. So yeah, overall, really fun game. I would love to see more of this game, but most of all, I would want to see the movie put back into production. I want to see it in production. Get Ryan Reynolds. I'm sure he's going to do well with R.I.P.D. If not, just give Deadpool that chance at the big screen. And if that big screen chance goes well, we can get an animated Deadpool film, which I'm more happy with. You know, maybe adapt more stories. If you don't adapt them in film, adapt them in animation. Who knows? Of course, if you have to be like PG-13 or hey, heck, maybe even rated R animation. Who knows? But I just want to see that character get the due that he really deserves. He's a fun character. I think people give him a chance. If we see him done right, we'll get that. And I think this is the right steps to get it. A sequel to this game be fun and maybe introduce more Deadpool-specific characters. Maybe give Domino a bigger role next time. You know, again, keep Cable to the minimum he was here because they kept him a perfect amount of Cable. And Wolverine and such. If you do introduce them, keep them cameos. Overall, I think the gameplay's fun. I think it's a very well written game. I'll give Daniel Way that credit. He has improved as a writer. He's really come along. He never did a terrible job on Deadpool, just kind of a standard job. And I think he's upped his game here. Gotten a good blend of everything. Nolan North, thank you so much for bringing this character a voice that really just sells you on him. Because Nolan North, he helped bring this character back, and for that I am eternally grateful. All of us are eternally grateful. Again, that whole versus Wolverine short did a lot of good. One really could have killed off the character with the whole origin. So if not for that short, not for Nolan North, I don't think Deadpool would be popular at all anymore. Despite all the good comics, I don't think anyone would take notice of those. So yeah, great game. The gameplay doesn't bother me because it's the type of game Deadpool would make, especially if he held the video game studio hostage. And, you know, it changes the formula, changes the format, it takes some risk with the story, and I think they pay off. You know, it just kind of goes a little disjointed with the story, like its character it's based on. It's nonsensical for a logical purpose, because Deadpool made it that way. Really funny, and yeah. In a nutshell, I really like this. I don't really rate games that much, but if I had to rank it out of 5, I would give this a 5 out of 5. True, I'm biased and I love Deadpool, but I genuinely think it's probably deserving of 4.5, but I'm going to say 5 out of 5. Again, 5 out of 5 because it took some risk. It did good in the end. It's really well written. Maybe gameplay's not all there, but for these purposes, for me being biased for bias' sake. And it's 5 out of 5. Deadpool will give it a 5 out of 5, or Deadpool actually would give it 5 chimichangas. At the very least, we can take away from this at the end of the day. It's a fun game. If you don't play it, watch the thing. It's really funny. And folks, if you're listening, I implore you, campaign, bring up this character, make him relevant, bring him up in conversation, show the good this character can be, how entertaining this character can be, and how interesting he can be. I think he's worth it. That's just me. Feel free, hey, however you feel about this character. If he's too extreme for you, completely understandable. I like this character, and if you like him too, be vocal about it. You put him back in the public eye, but not to the point where he's going to get 500 spin-off titles or mini titles. Like, don't make him become Wolverine. Make him become the Iron Man, if you will. They can become Iron Man, but, you know, it's kind of be Iron Man for adults. You know? Still amazes me that I would dress up as Deadpool for Halloween. It amazes me that kids know who Deadpool is, but the character's fun. maybe it's the kind of culture we're living now, but still, Deadpool's very, very fun character, as he makes a heck of a fun game. So Deadpool, thank you for making this game. Thank you for taking High Moon hostage and making this game, and I wish you the best in the film industry. I wish that script, which is awesome, and read it if you can. So even if worst case scenario, even if this film doesn't see light of day, read that script because it's one of the best crafted Deadpool stories I've written. Justice to the character. Hope it gets made. I really do. Ryan Reynolds, stick true to it. Make this movie happen. Take care of yourself, everyone. Again, thank you, Deadpool. Thank you, Nolan North. Thanks, High Moon. And, thanks, Marvel. Yeah. And, Gail Simone, or Joe Kelly. Please come back to the book. Not that the current writers aren't doing a good job with it. I just want those two to come back because they had some of my favorite runs on the character. Anyway, take care, everyone. Goodbye.